We now return to Let's Play 7 Grand Steps. What horrors await Leo? Hey, but you didn't marry me. Fucking fantastic. Thanks for nothing. Just gonna wait. Leo longed to marry Tiberia. He courted her father's admiration, getting to know him, assisting his work, and exaggerating the success of his own carpentry. He gave him gifts of food and fine crafted goods. When he felt he had done his best to integrate himself, he offered his availability to marry. Tiberia decided that Leo was a fool, but a capable fool, and therefore useful. Well, isn't that just wonderful? Stop moving around! Trying to see what they look like. Eustace asked Leo to be a ship's carpenter for a year. Eustace had been injured on his last voyage in a port brothel far away. He needed Leo to cover his contract with the merchant ship captain. Leo was glad for guaranteed pay. He prepared for a long sea voyage. Why do I think this is going to go badly? He sailed through the mighty pillars of Hercules to a strange land of rich barbarians who prized glass over gold. His investment in the ship's profits proved fortuitous. Finally, something good. Okay, you're going down there. You are going over there. Oh goody! The memory was heralded from town to town. Remember when barbarians breached the sacred capital. Vengeance will be ours. Muster, muster all good fighting men to the nearest legion commander. Well, he is inspired, but that doesn't have a damn thing to do with any of these choices. His skills are apparently shit, so whatever I choose, it's going to have a negative. He's probably going to be imprisoned, or die, or fleeing into the hills. Something bad is going to happen. Either way, it's all going to be negative, so we may as well just join the camp and go to war. With a hastened pace, they arrived 2 days ahead of everyone else from their town. Don't do that. The legion's commander addressed professional soldiers and levies alike before leading them unto barbarian lands. The enemy is undisciplined and ignorant. I fought them scant years ago. Do not let their backward lives fool you. They can be clever like packs of dogs. Let them too close and you'll never wash their smell off of you. His joke drew cheers from his men. The march commenced. He continued to practice his fighting skills. His skills caught the attention of a soldier who deigned to spar with him. The army crossed into the savages' homeland unresisted. They were cautioned, ready to make raids against villages and small towns to weaken the enemy's will to fight. The commander's primary objective was to draw the barbarians' main force into a battle of his choosing. Leo was more concerned by the wooden roads the natives had constructed. Their workmanship rivaled his own. Well, 2 of these were options I had last time. I have a feeling that they're not going to be beneficial. However, refusing to join a raiding party or taking a raid sound dangerous, i.e. deadly. Now, paying attention to the legend points here, apparently tragedies, like dying, give you a lot of legend points, and so I'm assuming I can figure out the results of my choices as far as how dangerous they are by keeping track of the points. Let's say he reserved his strength. Fires from native encampments reminded Leo of a sea sparkling in the light of a blood moon. Behind the sea, bonfire flames leapt into the sky from the corners of a stone-walled city twice the size of Leo's town. 2 more legions arrived in the night. Well, carving a sacrifice to the war god sounds like it would probably be a good idea, because we're gonna need all the help we can get. We're gonna get slaughtered here. But, see, I don't know the results of any of these choices, but seeking out volunteers from my town sounds like I might find some people that I can be friends with, thus forming a little group that might save my skin. So let's try this. A handful had died or escaped. Survivors clasped each other steadfastly, and they drank to the goddess who watched over their women and children. The ranks of lines formed by the legions were reflected by enemy lines equal to their rank and equal their discipline. Were dead. Leo had heard of the practice of capturing the sons of our barbarian elite and raising them to respect the empire. That knowledge and training must have translated to these enemies. Their only differences might have been one side was closer to their homes. Horns sounded, the lines converged. Battle cries precipitated clashes of iron. Well, I was okay with this up until he closed his eyes. That sounds like a risky move, which means it's less likely to be successful. Running from the battlefield is probably not going to help. Fighting with the unit means he's going to die. We may as well die like a man. To his surprise, the enemy was no better trained than he. Fierce and brave, to be sure, but the professional soldiers cut through their ranks quickly, while levies suffered losses equal to their enemy. Leo fought well and was rewarded. An additional 3 legions reinforced the siege. Leo labored continuously for a month to help erect concentric siege walls, one to seal in the city, one to protect the legions from being counter-sieged. The enemy nations were independent of each other, traded with each other, had fought one another, but still could ally to bring 100,000 warriors against invaders. Well, he's a mediocre carpenter, but practicing my fighting skills seemed to have helped last time. Joining a raiding party just sounds like death. This is obviously the cautious one. Let's see if I can do anything with my carpentry skill. He was ordered to organize the construction of a giant ram tower. White flags marched from the city's gates. The enemy commander had decided to risk a belief in the Empire's civility. He sent non-combatants out into the no-man's land. But the head of the Empire's army refused to let them pass. The legions watched thousands of people dig graves and starve to death over the next 5 days. Then the enemy army struck outwards. Fury overwhelmed their empty bellies. My first instinct is to say that hubris is going to get me killed if I stay and fight. The Empire is going to get overwhelmed by berserker barbarians. So I would like to flee. However, I believe that one of Leo's skills was siege warfare. I don't know if that actually has any bearing on this at all. I also remember that we did construct those concentric gates. It's possible, if we stay and fight, that we might be able to use that defensively. I also think I'm going to die. Attempting to escape, he might be struck down by the barbarians that run after everyone in an attempt to slaughter. So let's fight. If the gods have forsaken us, we only have ourselves to rely on. The enemy tried burning their way through the siege wall. They tried climbing it. They bashed it with their weapons, and they died before it. Their bodies mounted until they could leap up and spit into the Empire's faces. Leo met them, killed one, and then it was over. Their fury was spent. He's alive! Oh my god. Challenge will not arrive for a long time because no one is working on invention. I'm fine with that. Let's go social advancement. So we can get up here. Wow. Wow. So I'm already halfway to the next. That's awesome. That worked so much better than I could have ever expected. You, my boy, sorry, girl, Chloris, I didn't look at my own child. You are going to follow in your father's footsteps and learn the ways of war, just in case this bullshit ever happens again. Although, I think I would like to ensure you get an education in just about everything. I now have enough tokens that I could probably also get a second child. So why don't we... You move forward there. I would like to go there. Now wait a minute. Do you... Okay, you love her. If I go there... Why don't you make tokens? Okay, you are going to learn that. That's really tempting to just go up there and grab that instead. But we got plenty of the catapults. So you go up there. You go over there. We're going to try for this second child, just in case Chloris doesn't go so well. Okay, I could race to the end to pick that up. Sort of stepping over everything else. Okay, and then you can bounce off that and pick that up. Let's try again. No. Okay, so I'm gonna have to have her move back, I think, in order to make this happen. You need to pick up siege weaponry, and I definitely need to get Chloris as close to an A rank as I can, even though as soon as we hit the next level, a lot of this stuff isn't going to count for crap. In fact, it might not be worth doing, come to think of it. Okay, tell you what, how about you go there, pick that one up. Make tokens. At the very least, I can make a large inheritance for myself, which sounds like a smart idea. Go back, attempt this child making again. It's just not working. I think I'll just have you stay there, actually. Oh, wait a minute, no, if I go down there, that's only 2. I would do better to just move here, but... Oh, what the hell. May as well use those up. They're going to be worthless to me in the next level up. Okay. Well, why don't I have you go there? You go there. For once, I actually do want another child, just so I can have a backup. Crossing over into a new social stratus is a risky business. Let's see, if I have you do that, go all the way to the end. How close are we? Probably not that close. Good. They're getting along. 20 points. I need 20 points. Let's see. Maybe I should just leave them alone this turn. See if they build up their own skills. With this many tokens, though, it's probably not a good idea to do that. Oh, come on! I've been treating you two exactly the same. What the fuck? Just because Chloris here built up skills and you didn't because you're an idiot? This game is just unfair. How many? 6. Wood dust-filled air gleamed in sunlight. A young man, missing an ear, blocked the sun with his head. "We've been watching your workshop. Now pay us." Great. He and his friends considered themselves heroes for a price. Most craftsmen on the block feared the older gang more, but these wayward youths defended their neighborhood successfully against them. Leo offered to apprentice the youth. Oh, that's gonna work. Jesus Christ. Wait a minute. That was siege. Okay. We're running out of tokens here. Okay, now how do I get there? Before we move into the next age, I kind of want to spend all this stuff, although maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just go for it. No, I took him to a double A because I wasn't paying attention. Leo built a masterwork cabinet for aristocrats in the near city. The family went to deliver it and to visit the warrens of workers and goods and civil majesty. A tax collector caught Leo and demanded a percentage of the sale. Leo argued that he was not a citizen of the city and could not be taxed. The collector sued in court and won. Leo, infuriated, sought to appeal. He discovered that tax collectors bid for the right to tax people. They made a profit by collecting more than what they bid. If a collector failed to pay the amount bid, anyone could pay the difference and take over the right to tax until next year's bid. Leo secluded his family in the cheapest district, eating gruel for weeks, saving money until the collector had to pay his bid. It cost nearly every coin in their life savings, but Leo bought vengeance. That he had just obtained the right to be hated by nearly everyone in the city did not occur to him until long after Leo had laughed in the ex-collector's face. Leo the Inspired enforced taxation as judiciously as he could, pleasing no one. The citizens cooled their enmity, but never offered any respect. I could have done a little brown-nosing, taxed the poor. I could have screwed myself over, really, because I'm moving into the nobles by taxing the rich. I think, overall, the mediocre choice was the best. Okay. Holy shit. Shall we move towards invention? Just so I can try and move this along. Okay. We're now in a new skill set. Ugh. Which means that everything I've been pushing on these guys is going to be completely worthless. Okay. You get that. And you will move forward to that. I said you will move forward to... No, wait a minute. I can bypass this. Oh, what I should have done was this, which is what I saved this fucking thing for. Well, there's no point now in gaining these skills, because once Chloris becomes the next head of state, or head of the house, rather, she's not going to need them. So I may as well get her started in this stuff, and feed the worthless stuff to those ones. Because at least if I'm at a B rank, she should do a little bit better. I would hope. I honestly see no purpose to continuing on, so let's just make tokens. I could give her an architecture, I could give her engineering. Osgood is going to be a pain in the ass, I can tell. Let's move on. Oh shit! That's not what I meant to do. I meant to move on by picking Chloris. Okay, well, one more turn, what the fuck? Why not? Ah. And I didn't make any. That was stolen from me, you son of a bitch. I will take that, though. I'll give cavalry. Still hates me. I don't give a fuck. Okay, now let's move on. Chloris wanted to practice the marriage ritual. Instead of the women of the clan, her girlfriends would wash and clothe her. She would collect her toys to give to the moon goddess. One friend pretended to be her father by placing a mock sacrifice on an imaginary altar. Another stood as her groom. Chloris walked solemnly towards them. A woven crown jostled upon her hair. She held before her grapes and a pomegranate. Chloris was suddenly nervous. This is how a father transferred control of his daughter and her belongings to another man. She thought of the women in her family who, despite their lack of rights, were powerful forces. I don't think I've done virtuous yet. Doesn't mean it's the right choice. Starting all the way at the bottom. B and a B minus. Okay, well, let's go ahead. I don't have any of those, never mind. I guess I'll have to move up there. Fuck. One step back. Next time.